Wait, I should be like, oh yeah, because I do follow you on Twitch, so I should be able to see. I need to calm down because I have another thing where when I start talking, if I get like excited, my voice,
If I get excited.
like it doesn't have to be like the best thing in the world just happened. It's just like being happy talking to a person makes my voice just skyrocket, and it's so bad.
No,
And then I catch myself,
I'm the same way.
and then I feel like I'm forcing my voice, but I'm not because then I start talking normal. I'm like, yo, who is this man that just came out your throat? Pause, but like,
He said it was his man. Okay.
that boy streaming Valorant right now.
Hell yeah, bro. It's DASS, right?
Yeah. How is your category in Valorant?
I'm changing it right now.
Wait, the delay is not terrible. What the heck?
Yeah, it's never gonna. Pretty fast.
Oh, I'm cheesing. What the? I hate it.
Okay.
Where's my phone?
Alright. I think everything is good. This is recording. Alright, we're about to start.
Another thing I forgot to do.
You better hurry up because we already live, baby.
Where is it? Where's the noise difference off, bro? I must be tripping because I don't have noise difference. Oh, there's. Okay. Hey, turn off. Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Alright, let's get it started. Crack-a-lackin', everybody. It's your boy Chase3420. Today we are here with our very ever first V.O.T.H podcast with our guest, Das. Is it Das or Das?
Das.
Das? Yay! Awesome. Let's get a crack-a-lack. This camera angle is fucking beautiful is what it is. Great content. What's up, guys? So enjoy the podcast. So first of all, who are you? You know, where are you from?
Wait, like my actual first? Oh, yeah, everybody knows my name.
Whatever you want,
Alright,
man.
so I'm Dwight, but because of my initials and stuff, I got the name Das. So I've been running with it ever since. I'm from Florida, unfortunately.
He said Florida, unfortunately. Why
This
do you
junk
say
is terrible.
unfortunately, man?
This junk is terrible.
Man, what's wrong with Florida?
We got the people, we got the weather is mad inconsistent. Imagine the weather being a bipolar person, but to the extreme.
See, I feel that's kind of how I live, man. I don't know, man. What's so wrong with the weather, man? What was it like today versus yesterday?
It's not that it's always super hot, it's the humidity. It hits you like a truck. I don't even push this man. But it's either hot or it's hotter. And then when it's not, it's the end of the year. So it's like it's about to snow and then it just goes straight back to heat at 2 p.m. 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Doesn't it rain a lot? Whenever I was in Tampa, I remember that like every day at like 4 o'clock it would rain for like 30 minutes. No bullshit. Just like it would be hot as fuck, just, you know, nice, normal, humid Florida day. And then 4 o'clock on the dot, it's raining. For
I wish I had that. What
30,
the heck?
40 minutes. Nah, man, you're in the wrong part of Florida then. Because that should be popping in Tampa, bro. That should be popping in Tampa.
If it was raining every 4 minutes, my house would never be hot. Like a whole sauna in my room just for being here.
No, that's how my house is now, but that's because I don't have any curtains in my house, and then the sun just beams in that shit. Like in this window, and I got a window over here, and then it's so hot. And I mean, I work during the day, so it doesn't really bother me. But like,
That's another thing. Window. It's so terribly insulated. So every time there's a weather change, I feel it first.
really, Why, like comparatively to everybody in your house?
Yes, you can go in my sister's room. You're
Yeah, what's
chilling.
up, Father
It could
Jay?
be freezing outside, and you stand next to the window. Fine. You stand next to the window right here, not even like 3 feet from where I am. Your feet will be freezing.
Oh no, that's tragic, man. That's tragic. Well, that's enough, man. Let's get on with this shit, man. So we're doing what songs to get to know each other real quick, right? That's how we're doing this. Okay. So he's gonna share us a certain song that makes him feel a certain type of way, that makes him be the person he is today. So we're about to play that and experience that together. Let me make sure that everything is sharing on this. All right, bro. So that way you can hear them. Freaking. Actually, I probably shouldn't click this. Look at me being stupid. But here.
You break.
And sometimes life is hard, you know? Life is very hard sometimes.
Ew, using light mode. It.
You know, you got to. Got to. Okay. So D Bang's Last Claim is the song that you chose. Describe yourself. I've never heard this song in my life, so
For real?
no, never. Get on with it.
Help me minimize my pride, the way you talk, the way you look, the way you walk, you got me shook. Girl, you pop, girl, I'm hooked, but you living life in that fast lane, on that fast train, and our last name should be exact same. Girl, I promise this the last claim that I make. I've been trying to get it, but it's kinda difficult because the attitude you give me is a little typical. Your body language is becoming invisible, and my physical is sick of all these pitiful attempts for the syllable shit. The way I get it is irrelevant, cause it's a definite that either way I'm gonna benefit. Cause when I'm in my element, I'm never hesitant, cause I'm a specialist with some evidence that I'm elegant. Niggas always hating and they ladies want a piece of me. Other niggas love me and tell me they wanna feature me. 300 for a 30-second verse, I do it easily. If you ain't tryna fuck or get some money, do not speak to me. Cause recently, I've been on a whole new frequency. And frequently, I've been doing a bunch of shit illegally. Like smoking 7 doobies and doing it all repeatedly. So baby, if you wanna come along and take a seat with me, minimize my pride, the way you talk, the way you look, the way you walk, you got me shook. Girl, you pop, girl, I'm hooked. But you living life in that fast lane, on that fast train. And our last name should be exact same. Girl, I promise this the last claim that I make. Help me minimize my pride, the way you talk, the way you look, the way you walk, you got me shook. Girl, you pop, girl, I'm hooked. But you living life in that fast lane, on that fast train. And our last name should be exact same. Girl, I promise this the last claim that I make. Girl, you already know that I've been trying to get it. Everybody want it, I'm gonna try to get it. Baby, I don't even love you, tell me why I'm tripping. I just want you to be the lowest to my Peter Griffin. You wanted to fall in love, I wanted to hit it. But it's a given that I say cause we constantly kissing. But when you left, it's not the same. I've been on a mission to find something the same, to this day it's still missing. Shit, when everybody looking at you in public, you supposed to be humble and act like it's nothing. Taking pictures with fans, man, I never had that. Now I'm just that ugly nigga giving bitches autographs. Now you wanna be friends? Fuck all that. Remember when I rang fresh and you ain't called back? Now you on Snapchat asking to lick my ball sack, acting like the young black bastard to fall for all that. Fuck no, baby, I'm just trying to do it. I ain't talking about the sexual, I'm talking about the music. I'ma do it till I die or till I'm whipping in a Buick. I'ma do it for my guys until I'm working with the Jewish. Holy fucking shit, my life is changing for the better. I'ma rap until I make $1 billion all together. But for now, everybody looking at me, I feel the pressure. However, that shit is just another endeavor. In the meantime, all my old relationships are 7, including that one girl. Even though I wanted to get her, even though I'll never tell her, even though I never told her that I love her whatsoever, even though I'm feeling better. I'm getting high now, I'm focused and no distractions. Now I'm making music, trying to make transactions. Focus on my expansion so I can get a mansion. But old girl will always be my main attraction. Minimize my pride, the way you talk, the way you look, the way you walk, you got me shook. Girl, you pop, girl, I'm hooked. But you living life in that fast lane, on that fast train. And our last name should be exact same. Girl, I promise this the last claim that I make. Help me minimize my pride, the way you talk, the way you
shit,
look,
he went
the way
Super
you
Saiyan,
walk,
bro.
you got me shook. Girl, you pop, girl, I'm hooked. But you living life in that fast lane, on that fast train. And our last name should be exact same. Girl, I promise this the last claim that I make.
Wow! Yo, high key, that shit was hard. High key, that shit was hard. I'm glad that was the song you chose. Out of any song you could have chose, that was great.
I almost picked a terrible song.
He said I almost picked this song. That's
That
fucking
song is
crazy.
number 3 on the first breakup playlist I ever made.
This hasn't been a year, Luke. I mean, I've been grinding, man. We've been, a lot of things have been, been in the works in the background. But okay, so let's get on with this. What does that song mean to you?
To me,
Yeah, man.
at first, it was just cause. Okay, wait, yo, can we say like that one word that belongs to like
Oh, black people.
Yeah, can we say that one word?
As long as you don't say it with the ER, I'll accept it.
All right. So at first, I had heard about bro through the song "Thick Niggas and Anime Titties," right?
Mm-hmm.
So after I heard that song, I was looking through bro's stuff, right? And I was going through like this breakup, right? At first, it was like 3 days, and I was chilling. Give it a week, and that it hit for the entire summer. And then I started looking through artists, and then I found bro again, and I saw that song. I was like, "Yo, that's the song right there."
Okay.
Because the song, like, right, bro went through heartbreak, and then decided, you know what, this can't be me forever. So then he started actually working on his stuff so he can get to where he wants to get. And even though he's not there yet, he's like humbling himself along the way, so he doesn't let what he does have get to his head, and he still comes back to his roots. Because
Okay.
I don't want to like, cause okay, to me, I take that song as like almost like an example to live by a little bit, because I'm hoping one day, right, everything like we're doing like right now, stuff we're doing now, stuff I
Mm-hmm.
did, stuff I'm gonna do, takes off for me or for us, because we could very well be sitting like in a room telling Bill Gates what to do. Who knows?
Right.
But
You're very right.
I don't want to let the thoughts or whatever progress I make get to me and not go back to where I'm from. Like I can't forget about all this where I am right now,
Right.
because this right now to me, I want more, but this to someone could be literally the biggest gift in the world. It is. I'm grateful for everything, and that's another thing he says in the song. Like you have to humble yourself while you're climbing.
So would you say that lyrics in a song, would you say that they should always have a deeper meaning? You know, they should tell their audience, their listeners, a story to make them feel a certain type of way so that way they can live a certain type of way? Or maybe do
It, de-
differently than that artist?
it depends, because everybody's different. Everybody has their own story to tell. So maybe the artist is telling you like stuff that like that happened, right? Because I'm gonna say a good majority of songs are based on stories.
Mm-hmm.
Because songwriting is literally storytelling in a melodic way.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be something like to help you get through a certain story. Because even though everybody's different, we all go through like the same scenarios and stuff.
Right.
But some other songs tell you a story, like a lot of Bond songs. Those are true stories. You're not gonna catch me riding in the back of a blacked out SUV, sitting like this, like, hey, is that's bro right there? No, I could no.
You ain't that guy? You're not that guy to ride around?
But to answer your question, I think that lyrics should be based on stories to tell the listener. You know, like you should try to go about it like this, or maybe stay away from this. Because if you have something to go by, then that makes the song all the more worthwhile.
Mm-hmm. So, do you think it's pointless when there's rappers or other artists who kind of just talk about, I guess, quote unquote, nonsense in their lyrics? I.e., Kodak Black not making any sense in any of his music most of the time. You know, what do you think about those type of artists? People who just say stuff just to say it.
I feel like it's not the worst thing, and it's not like a bad thing at all. Because if everything had a meaning, everybody would take everything too literally, and you gotta learn to have fun with it. So like, even though like, cause like you mentioned Kodak, right?
Yeah.
So like the song Tunnel Vision, right? It's a
Mhm.
goofy song. I'm not gonna hold you, but it's a hype song though, and it kind of has a story to it. Not really, but like
But it holds some universal truth to it. I will say
it
that.
does. That's right. Yeah, you're right. But I feel like just having like that nonsensical hype kind of helps, because if everything had meaning to it, then nothing would have meaning to it, because if everything's the same, then what's the point of having this if you this is the same thing as that? Like this charger and these headphones, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I could literally break this in half and just put it in my ear and then listen to music all day, what's the point of getting both?
That's true. True. I like that. I like that insight, man. I like that. Well, before we get deeper, I think it's time that listen to my song. Listen to my
Very,
song.
very cute.
You can ask me a few questions, and then we'll get on to that music talk. This is good. So we're gonna play this shit. So, just in case you didn't know, and for those of you who are graciously watching along with us, we love you. This song literally saved my life. If it wasn't for this song and hearing this song the first time ever, wouldn't be here having this conversation with you beautiful people. So this song is very, very, very deep to me. But without further ado, let's get on to it, shall we? So this is Kindest Regards by Whitloy. It's definitely not as fast as your song, sorry. Like the complete opposite.
Let me turn the stream volume up a little.
You can hear it okay?
Yeah.
Here to tell you the truth, tell you I'm nervous, tell you my story, tell you I'm worth it, tell you my flaws and my faults and my doubts, give you my heart and what's left of it now, tell you my hurt, tell you my pain, tell you the thoughts I keep trapped in my brain, tell you that nothing's the same, tell you I'm nothing much more than a main, and tell you I fear I may never find love, tell you I'm getting in touch with above, and right now can't deny that I'm scared all this music I wrote won't compare, a war with the buzz, alone in my room, dissecting each line that I rhyme, I don't know how I finish on time, miss a drop date 3 times, I know that I let you all down. Well, I was the first in that line, so sever my soul from my body, engulf it in music, then give you something to relate. This is somewhere to go when your heart becomes cold and your friends become fake. As you stand on the edge of the world, you feel like you're destined to break. And your grandma is screaming you're worthless and calling you names to your face. Mom and I had to move to a place, second time let a rhyme depict this picture. And I can't deny I would hide in my room and would cry from dealing with ya. Pictures so vivid, you yell in the kitchen. I'm taking my boxes, I made a decision. I'm done with your dissing, your father then fixing. I tried to be nice, but you just wouldn't listen. I couldn't wait for the day just to give you my take on the shit that you did. Silly old bitch, never be like you, never be so rude. I hope, I wish alone and sick you sit, but this is where we end it. It's crazy to me how the truth is often most offensive. Battle tested, learn my lesson to forgive but not forget. I spill my heart, open my chest. Irrelevant you are to me, but part to me honestly thought I should address. Life often makes this mess. I've come to give you more while everybody gives you less. Yep, and looking back on it all was a lie. At your friend's house and there's no other guy. Surprise, and look who you're with. I'm not trying to diss, I'm just telling you this. That your feelings may fade, but your memories stick. Hope you're happy with him. Honestly, hope you're happy with him. And he does all the things that I want and I tried, but I couldn't, could keep going on. But I know that I shouldn't waste any more time. Shouldn't waste any more lines. When you're drunk off the wine, do you find me crossing your mind? We knew this would happen with time, but I think that we finally figured it out. That we would just never work out. I tried picking you up, you tried pulling me down. But now life without you is where happy is found. And right now I'm just focused on music. Trust you would lose it. Ripped out my heart, you abusing, you used it. Love's not a label on Facebook. Would've gave you everything like girl, wait, look, but you didn't care. I would just stare at my wall and you gave me no reason at all when you left. Pick myself up when you made me feel less. Much better off into that at a test. Well now let's just put it to rest. I wish you the best. My friends don't respond to my texts. Yes, I've been busy with kind of cigars, but is it that hard just to call? I wanna hang out, yeah, you're shutting me out and you putting no effort at all. Now you got me confused, like what did I do? Used to tell you if I make it, I'll be bringing all you. Now my circle's a limited few and you walked out and left. I left no one to lose, I got nothing to lose. And nothing to gain by not telling the truth. Been barely believing in love. I still really don't even know if I do. But if someone was ever to make me believe, then that someone is you. I promise it's you. I never took action. You Snapchatting, asking me where all my music is at. We're talking right now as I'm writing this rap. You're someone I wish that I always could have, and to be blatant. Girl, your name is. Still can't say it, never could say it.
Video's
Scared
so
you would hate
cheesy,
it.
bro.
Wonder what crosses your mind when you play it. I'm patient, I'm waiting for you. Even roll rescue about me and you. Maybe one day we'll be. We'll wait and we'll see. Now I'm chasing my dream, and I hope you do too. And I'm hoping to prove I'm paying my dues. Dad would get drunk and pass out. I'm like, what are you doing? Losing, you losing. He knew it, so we got sober. So proud, I knew you could do it. I'm out at a party, y'all tell me to drink. Here's what I think. I think you look stupid. Sinking my soul into music. I do it for free, and just know that I'm woven into it. My fans, we turn into fam. I'm here to guide you. Give me your hands. Tell me your thoughts and your dreams and your plans. They told me I never could be what I am. Now look where we stand. We stand for everything we said we stand for. When they tried to give us less, we said no, fuck that. We're the man more, and we stand tall. Dan told me jump on a beat and go tell them the truth. That's what I do. I do this for you. I tell you my story to help you get through. And you see that this life is hard. The darkest nights make the brightest stars. I'm bringing y'all with me. Let's raise the bar. I know y'all can feel this, whoever you are. Kindest regards, Mark.
Boom. A lot of emotions. A lot of emotions. So
Not
first
me
and
about to cry
foremost-
now.
It's a tearjerker. I'm not gonna lie. It's a tearjerker. So much love to the chat. So what do you feel about that song first and foremost?
I gotta say that music video was, I liked it a lot. I'm not gonna hold you, cause like, okay, at first, right, when he started talking, I was like, yo, 21 Pilot. I was like, yo, but like it feels like a 21 Pilot music video, but then like the parts where like it cuts like the black and white, kind of like his movements remind me of a person I never listened to, literally Machine Gun Kelly. It's just crazy.
MGK is so beautiful. I love his music. That's beside the point. So that's good. Hey, blessed. A music video is he directs. They make good music videos, but it's a little cheesy sometimes. But Will Laurie is that guy.
That was my time to ask you the questions. Now you're in the
Yeah,
chair.
man. Yeah, no, it's all you.
All right, so number one, most basic question on earth: how did you find this song? Where did you find this song?
So it first came across to me because of a friend of mine. His name was Hugh. That's what I knew him by on Call of Duty. He actually got me into competitive Call of Duty and playing semi-professionally and shit like that. But at the time, whenever I kind of first met him, first couple months maybe, essentially I was going through some rough shit with this girl, you know, just some bullshit high school, you know, love story. And long story short, you know, based off of what I was telling him, he was like, yo, you should listen to this artist with Laurie. And he made this song called Move On, you know, maybe you can find some relevance there or something like that. He said it would help you in some way. I don't really know how. But I was like, okay. I listened to the song. I was like, okay, it's a song. You know, it's kind of sad, whatever. And didn't think too much of it. And then a couple weeks later, not to go into too much detail, but, you know, I was at the lowest point in my life. And I played that song again that he recommended to me, and I was like, this just isn't hidden. And the next song that I saw was Kindest Regards. I just clicked on it, and you know, it ultimately changed my life for the better. I guess I discovered it on SoundCloud. The song, I discovered it. But
I was about to say you answered my other question, but you didn't. So, okay, when you first found the song, right? Did it hit you like? Cause it sounds like the songs that like mean the most to us, pretty much, right? So, did it hit you like that the first time listening to it, or did like it take some repetition to get there?
it was kind of both. It was like the first time I heard it, and it was actually like within the first few bars or whatever. He says, "This is somewhere to go when your heart becomes cold and your friends become fake." At that point, I took a pause. Basically the world stopped, you know, and I essentially just I had to run it back, you know, and I pretty much listened to that song every single day, and for the rest of that day, and it would only be that song for like months, and just over time, it really changed the course of, I guess, how I was as a human, you know. It really made me feel a certain type of way, in a better way, but it was just, it really did hit home right away. And as I progressed, and even now, it does wonders every time I listen to it.
That's good to have like that repetition make it deeper to you and
Yeah,
actually change you. That's W song for real. Let's give it round of applause for that song.
dude, that is a W song. It is a W song for real. Not everybody's jam, but it's good. Definitely for the soul.
I feel like anybody who disagrees with that song should honestly like take a walk by a lake.
And
'Cause
listen
there's
to
no
that
way.
song.
Now, this is my third and last question about the song.
Damn.
Is this an artist that you listen to regularly, or is this like a one time like part in your life where you listen to this artist and this song?
Um, Not so much regularly anymore, but for a solid like 4 years, 3 or 4 years, I listened to him pretty regularly, and he would be my most played artist for sure. He just honestly doesn't drop as often. You know, he's independent. He drops whenever he feels it's necessary to drop. Blah 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 blah. Not saying that his music doesn't have replay value, but you know, you do listen to artists a lot to the point to where you really want to ever. Um, but you know, occasionally I'll bump his song every. But you know, it's really just because he makes music that is kind of like, it's emotional, you know, and I feel like I wouldn't say it's necessarily depressing. I mean, yes, he has a lot of depressing music, but on the other end, he has a lot of very up-paced, freaking hype shit. You know what I mean? Like in your face, I'm raging at some shit, and so I feel like you have to be in a certain mood to like listen to him. You know what I mean? And I haven't felt that way in a long time, and that's a good thing. You know, I haven't felt that dark space in a long time, so it's just kind of like it comes and goes. You know, sometimes I'll feel his vibe and I'll bump it, sometimes I won't, and I'll just skip it. But that's how it is with all my songs. So that's that. But what other questions did you have, man? I know you had a few more.
Okay, let me hit you with the other basic question that you asked at first.
Okay.
Where are you from? We already know who you are. Everybody knows who you are. So where are you from?
Well, you know, I mean, for those who don't know who I am, I'm Jordan of J Sturdy 420. You call me what you want, Young Sweye. It's who you're hearing in the background. Man, I'm from Austin, Texas. Born and raised in Austin, Texas. Lived here pretty much my whole life. 23 years old. Lived here for damn near 22 years. And man, what do I gotta say about Austin, Texas? It's probably one of the greatest cities in America. And I've been to a lot of cities in America. And it's not hometown bias or anything, but beautiful women here. The music scene is amazing. Live music every single day. I love the weather here, you know, and we got lakes. I don't know, it's just everything you can ask for. Great mix of everything.
Transition into my other question is, how do you view this place now? Like, is it always going to be this to you?
It is always gonna be home to me, but right now it's fuck it, bro. It's like, it's kind of bad right now. The traffic's getting bad. Crime rate's going up a little bit. Used to be one of the safest cities in America, not so much anymore. Still pretty safe, but you know, did drop down in a couple ranks. But regardless of all of that, it's more or less a me thing. The reason why I want to leave for a couple years. I'm probably gonna retire here. I couldn't imagine myself retiring anywhere else unless it was out of the country. Yeah, I'm probably gonna move somewhere. I don't know exactly where. Maybe California or some bullshit for like a year or two, just to experience something new. And other than that, Austin's home base. Austin is, like I said, just one of the best cities I've ever been in. And it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm partly comfortable here. You know, I have been here so long. So maybe experience outside of Texas, outside of Austin, living wise, will change my mind later in the future. But for now, this is where I reside. Wait, you got any more questions, or cause I got a few more questions for you.
You want to do turn for turn?
Yeah, we can do turn for turn. Let's just do it 20 questions style.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually how you play 20 questions. That's just how I played it as a kid.
I don't know how to play it either, but like I've been sent it by a female on iMessages, and I was mad confused what we were doing.
Wait, there's an actual game 20 questions
Yes.
on iMessage? No
It's
way,
dumb.
bro. I'm about to have to hit up females fast with that shit. Shit, man. Okay, so this is music related, but has music ever changed the way you feel emotionally, acted, maybe thought at ever, at any point, and how so, if it has?
I'm gonna go with 100% yes, because I have this weird thing where whenever I experience something or like watch a movie, it got me feeling different. Like for me, like it's not just watching or experiencing or listening to like a song or like an album. I have a weird thing where like I'm there, like I was in this story for and like it hits for a while, because when I had first started listening to like Ski Mask and Juice WRLD in like middle school, it was like because I used to be like extremely soft as like a kid. Like I was the most sheltered and most like shy but extroverted kid in the world. And then as soon as I heard about those artists, right, at first I was like, dang, gotta listen in secret. Can't they can't hear me listening to this. And then I was listening to like at school and I was like things like, dang, toughen up, bro. Like hurry, tee up, because this is ridiculous. And then like another thing is I'll be like, let's say I get like hurt or something, right? Or like sometimes you show like this random like emotionally vulnerable days. If I put on a song on that artist for the entire day, like there was a time where like I was mad at this one girl. I put on Comethazine. I was like, I don't even know sad, so I put on Comethazine, and I was sitting there mad in the VC playing games.
Oh man, you gotta let them know, bro. You gotta let them know. But yeah, no, I'm more or less the same way too. You know, music definitely does change my mood, and like I definitely listen to like certain songs for certain situations. You know what I mean? Like I can't be in a situation like where I'm sad listening to hype ass music, but like I have to listen to sad music when I'm sad, and it just kind of like fits the mood. So, like whenever I'm ready to party, you know, I throw on some good old party jams, some club hits while I'm on the way to the club, and I get turned the fuck up, bro. I get turned the fuck up. You got to, bro. You got to.
My question is, man, there's some good questions. That's to really pat myself on the back right there. All right, so if you could say one thing to everyone that you've met in life as a collective, like let's say like the mayors be having like speeches and stuff,
Yeah.
and like everybody gathers. So everyone that you've met in life just gathered in like one little like block. What would you say?
Damn, bro, that is really tough. That's crazy. That is a good question, man. So I guess to sum it up, because I could go on like an hour-long MLK rant about that shit. Be yourself and don't be afraid to be the weirdest version of yourself. A lot of people hide in their shell, and their shell is based off of society and more or less the society that is around them. Everybody's society is different. You know, what I deal with on a normal day-to-day basis, the people I deal with, the people I talk to are completely different than the people you deal with, the people you talk to. And for different reasons. We're in different parts of the country, different parts, you know, different time zones, yada yada yada. The list goes on and on and on. A lot of people try to fit in to what's around. And I think that's one of the downfalls of America. If we're talking about gun violence, if we're talking about just anything surrounding riots and stuff like that, think about it this way. Let's say took the social media presence out of it. Let's say nothing was on social media about that shit. Riots, no fucking gun violence, no nothing. I guarantee you that a lot less people would do that shit. A lot of people just want the glory. A lot of people want to see themselves shine, but for all the wrong reasons. I think if people were not to be blinded by the lights of politics, blinded by the lights of media, then I think it could do wonders for the soul. If everybody's in cohese, like in cahoots, I meant to say coherence, but yeah, if everybody's in coherence with each other, I think that it would benefit us long term. And with that being said, that just stay true to yourself. If everybody stayed true to themselves, you wouldn't have 90% of the problems we have. You know what I mean? But everybody's trying to dig into everybody else's lane, everybody else's pot, trying to get what they got, not focused on the shit that's on in front of them. Not worried about the fucking grass that they're growing. They're worried about something like that. I just think about it like that. I think everybody else. All I can say.
I agree 100%, especially with like the stuff being blasted on social media, because one, we got social, like the platforms that we're going to put in their opinions on
Right.
top of it, and then now that everyone's seeing this, right? Guarantee you half of like the violence, like you said, it's just people trying to replicate and get their spotlight for a second, and it doesn't make any sense. All that time and effort they sat there researching this, how can I do this? How can I do this? They could have made something better. We could have had more people like Elon Musk and stuff actually trying to change our way of life, because we have electric cars. Getting the air is terrible. We have electric cars because this man decided.
Right. And then, I mean, to piggyback off of that, I truly think that, people like are really quick to claim just certain shit. You know what I mean? Like once they hear something, they're like latch onto it, and that's what's true. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what else anybody else says. The first fucking person they see it from, they're like, okay, that's true. And the fucked up thing about that is I heard that, like, for people, I guess teenagers, ages 14 to 16, their main source of news comes from TikTok.
It's so
TikTok.
terrible, bro.
TikTok.
It's so bad.
Think about that. Like, think about how much, I wouldn't say false news is being spread per se, but I would say opinionated. That's just all opinions. There's very few facts on TikTok, and even the facts that people provide are kind of bullshit, just like bullshit Wikipedia facts and shit like that. And it's just like, people are gaining that knowledge, gaining that information from this app, and living by it. People are just stuck in a fucking false world, and that's crazy to me, you know. So yeah, I think that social media would if you dilute that out of social media. I'm not saying, take away social media, but if you dilute all the buzz around politics, all the buzz around fucking current events that are bad, murders, stuff like that, it would benefit us all as America. But I got another question for you. If you can go back in time and change one thing in your life, what would it be and why?
Hmm. That is a
Hey man,
That's such a basic question, but it's so like it's hard to think of on the
it's deep,
spot.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
You gotta hit him with the bangers, bangers early.
Let me hurry up and think before
Yeah,
I
man.
look stupid.
Time's ticking, bro.
Hmm. Go back in time.
Do, 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 do.
Okay. I would go back and change kind of how my 8th grade year went because like I'm proud of like majority of the stuff that I did. It's just like the people I associated myself with because like 8th grade was kind of like 7th grade. I would say was the worst breakup I had, and I don't know why. You can try as hard as you want to, but a breakup or losing somebody will hit you and change you, and you won't even notice that at first. And you look back, and it's like I can't even lie. This absence of this person hit way too hard and changed me completely without even like they didn't have to do nothing. They don't even care no more. And I'm sitting over here a whole different person. That's wild to me.
Right.
But 8th grade was kind of like my like I guess correction year or like just like trying to like relax. But I relaxed too much and I ended up like creating bad habits for myself. And some of those habits I still do have, but then I also feel like I affected my relationships with some people in a way I shouldn't have, like getting too close with somebody else's friend and such, or like not like be another thing, being stupid, not knowing that what I was doing was not good, like or knowing it wasn't good, but like not knowing the what's the word? Hmm. The magnitude, not knowing the magnitude of the things that I was doing, even though I knew like the overall of it was bad. Like, there's no reason that even though like, so let's say we're gonna give her the name. Let's say Chantel, bruh. So Chantel was my girl best friend from like late 7th grade to all of 8th grade.
Mhm.
Chantel and let's go. Let's say John. So Chantel and John, right? They end up getting together like halfway through the year, right? But she was still my girl best friend like the entire time, right? So she was trying to get like this behind bro's back, and me and bro were friends. I didn't say a word about it, but then bro was kind of like whacking his own way. He was trying to like cheat and stuff, but that's not my like jurisdiction to like. I'm not trying to justify what I like how I was with her at all, but it's just like if I would have known, hey, lay off a little bit because he got suspicious and I was confused because I was trying to like relax on like how I was with her and she wasn't. So I'm like talking to bro and then out of nowhere he came over, he said something to me. I was like, that's how it is. Like, that's crazy. Because bro was, she actually told me and then he told me like afterwards, right? He's like, John does not want you around me or to talk to me. So like we can't like talk like out in public because we was in aftercare. So being in the same aftercare group, it'd be like walk past each other, whisper something. It's like, oh, okay, and then go home. And that just was kind of bad because those relationships with those people now, the Chantel girl, right? Started talking to her again. We're friends. We're chilling. I have not heard from that man since 8th grade, and that's kind of sad because bro was cool.
Interesting. So he kind of pulled the dip and dash on you as a friend just because he felt some type of way. Okay. Well, so what would you do differently in that situation then if you could go back? Would you just not talk to Chantel completely in that sense? Would you try to, keep your distance, or would you tell bro? Would you be like, "Yo, homie, this Chantel's trying to run it up on me. You need to get your girl." What would you do? How would you change yourself?
I feel like I would have operated like special ops type thing, not make it public to both of them. Like, yo, so and so's doing, or so and so feels. More like handle it privately and like watch it come together.
Hmm.
Because I could have been like, yo, I get we're like best like girl and boy best friends or whatever, right? But we gotta like cool it on how like touchy and like close we are with each other, like or how much we're around each other, because bro's uncomfortable with it. And I could have talked to him and be like, yo, so I understand where you're coming from, or I'm gonna lay back on talking to her for a while, and I need you to know, as a friend, nothing's happening. And if something does happen, I can assure you, if you didn't hear from me, it's not true. Because I could tell, bro, yo, like somebody could for real tell him, yo, they was making out in XYZ staircase. And I could tell him, nah, that's not. He would look at me in the face, probably punch me. I'm not gonna hold you.
You just wouldn't believe that shit. Damn. Well, hey, bro. As long as you being honest on your end with your intentions, with your relationships and shit like that, man, I think that's the best you can do. And you live and you learn. You know, the universe puts us in certain situations to where we can be put with a very, very tough choice that we have to make. And might take days, weeks, months to make that choice, and you might think you made the right choice and realize you made the wrong choice years later, and that's okay. That's called life, and you take a couple L's, you can turn them into W's. That's all you got. That's all I can say about that, man. Oh, it seems like you learned a lot since then, and as long as that changed you for the better, I think you're doing good. I know you got another one for me.
I got two more left on my list.
Oh man.
All right, lucky number 7. So, things you used to do growing up, or things you were raised doing growing up, do they find their way into your life currently anymore?
Things did growing up. Like how so? Like what kind of things?
Whether it's just like everyday, like I'm bored, let's do this activities, or just habits or like ways of life. Because, like for example, I was raised putting the cereal in the fridge. I told my friend about it. She called me weird for it. She's like,
Wait a
"Oh,
minute. You put
hey,
your
pour me some of your
cereal in the
cold
fridge?
cereal." Yeah, I listen. I don't know. I just let's go with it.
That's weird. That is mad weird. Okay, no judgment, but let me see. Let me think. I don't think there's really anything habit wise that we would do as a family that I even begin to more or less that like we would do as a family. It wasn't like I don't really remember being a family per se. You know what I mean? With my family. And then when my parents got separated, it was just like me and my mom. And my brother wasn't really in the picture because he was off in his own world doing his own thing, experiencing life as a teenager. And at the end of the day, I just, I guess, yeah, there's nothing that I do now. There's nothing that I find myself doing. All my habits that I have now are just kind of newborn habits. I form new habits every day, good or bad. And I just kind of live life. I let the roller coaster of life take. But as far as thinking about family, and I honestly know. Life is not the same. Life has never been the same. You know what I mean? So it's always my life is constantly changing. Even the habits that I have. I don't know. One of my, I guess like my oldest habit that I have that I keep is I make my bed every day. So that's that. But that's about it. Other than that, you know, shit, bro. It's all up in the air, man. It's all up in the air. What about you, man?
Cereal in the fridge,
Oh,
calling things out of their name, like the like thickest sheet, right? That goes on the top of your bed set. What is that called?
the thickest sheet that goes on top of your bed set?
Like the big like blanket type of thing. Like when you get a sheet set, like what is that called?
Comforter and blanket, I think, right?
Yeah, it's a comforter.
Yeah.
Heavy covers.
Heavy
Gang, what?
covers.
I like that joke. It. I don't know.
Oh man.
It's dumb. Or like literally like sectioning off socks. House socks, out socks. Gang, what?
Wait, what?
I got house socks and I got out socks. House socks are like little throwaway socks. Or like little like Christmas socks. Like these junks right here. Like these are Christmas socks, pretty much. House socks, and not just socks. They all got a label to it.
That's fucking funny. Nah, see now that even if you explain shit like that, I don't have no shit like that. I ain't got nothing, bro. That's
I mean, it's not bad because at least you don't be like out confusing people. Because I was talking about I don't know what this conversation was. I was talking to some girl, talking about like our bed spreads or whatever, right? And I was like, I didn't want to say heavy cover. I was like, gang, I know it's wrong. I'm not gonna say it to her. So I'm sitting here talking around it, like like the thick part, the thick sheet thing that goes on the top. Like it's almost like a blank. It was so dumb. I wanted to cry.
hey man, that's keep those family traditions, keep those family values. That's good. Um, I
The next
honestly,
girl, I want she gonna take it regardless. I want to confuse her until she loves me.
I won't confuse it. I don't know, man. You might have to put the spins on her early. That way she knows what she's getting into. You know, because she might try to put the voodoo on you early. So you know you gotta match that energy. You gotta match that energy tenfold, bro. But
Tears start drawing on the walls. I'ma scream.
dude, imagine just a bitch just turns demonic, bro. And then you got to deal with that, bro. You need to have an exorcism in your house and shit when you're sleeping. What would you do? Or you do your girl, you're sleeping, you know, you cuddle up, all of a sudden your girl having an exorcism, bro, like she straight demon possessed her, some shit. Bro.
She hit my neck. I'm screaming. I'm running. We are out.
Oh, you out? You just ditching her?
Okay, I'm gonna ask her. Hey, babe, what are you doing? What does this mean? Cause I was playing literally Roblox, right? And like there's like this little gasoline can in the game you could draw with on the floor, right?
Oh,
So in the game, right, there's like food you could heal with it. She was holding chicken. Her avatar is black, so I'm like typical, right? And I called her a monkey, and then I walked away. And then she's like, what'd you say?" And she takes the gasoline can, draws a little symbol on the floor, and he's like, "There, now you're hexed." And I was like, "Yo, what's the hexagon got to do with Roblox?" So hey,
my man's about to have a Roblox fucking demon possesses girl, bro. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, shit, man. I got another question for you. Fucking, what has been your biggest accomplishment in life so far?
I'm gonna say, biggest accomplishment. If we're going like achievement wise, like physically, like I have like a medal or something to go for it. Got second place in a poetry contest, in, like third grade.
Okay.
But if we're going like life wise, I'm gonna go. My biggest achievement has to be. I don't want to sound narcissistic saying it, but majority or all people that I meet take a liking to me, and then that allows me to like change them or like help them understand stuff better. So it's like my biggest achievement would be kind of being able to work my way into like people's lives and help them for the better as much as I can without pushing it. Because I haven't driven anybody away.
Right.
But like, I mean, I've been ditched, but I haven't driven anybody away, which is great because that would sit so terribly with me. Like, yo, I forced this person to like XYZ. I don't want to do that.
Right. That's good, but you just, you're natural born empath, and you're doing what you're supposed to do. You're being empathetic for others and giving them the best gift that anybody can give. That's the gift of love. That's beautiful. Just, if nobody has ever told you, if nobody tells you, if you don't tell yourself, just know that you're doing right and continue doing it. Because we need more
Some people
people
maybe
like
want
you.
to take it back.
Bro,
I'm not gonna judge you. Anyway, it's like,
people are gonna latch onto that shit, and that's okay. People are gonna take advantage of that shit, and that's okay. You gotta learn to accept that and just move on to it. Because without people like you, without people like me, this world would be a shittier place. And we need to hold true to that, as much as
I'll just call it like, I don't know. We the main characters for though. Gotta suck it up and move on so
we
everybody
the
else
main
can
character.
relax a little bit.
Hey, that's a way to think about it.
The reason I said I wish I could just take it back for some people is girl like that was going through it. Like I had started talking to her and her dad had died on like the 3rd or something, right? Yeah, the 3rd, September last year. 5 days afterwards, we ended up getting together, right? Whole time, there was another guy that she was literally with. Didn't tell me about, bro. She told him that she had zero time for him and would never like talk to him or like anything with him. He just got dropped completely out of the picture. And she has like 100% of her time for me, and I'm sitting here like, yo, she's insane. And she would even try to like control my time and stuff. She did a pretty good job. I'm not gonna hold you. Kind of let myself get like completely like reformed. It was weird. It was wrong. And then after we break up, right? She goes back to bro for a little bit, right? Like he gets her back on Snap and stuff, and they start talking again. Then they're done after that, and the same month that we broke up. So like halfway through April, like I'm gonna say like the 13th of April, we were done. Then towards the end of April, they're done. And then a month later, she's with a whole another black man.
Oh, other black man.
And I had to find out from bro instead of her.
I mean, shit.
And
Unfortunately,
it's
how
really
life be.
sad.
That's unfortunately how
It's
that should be nowadays, dude. Especially, dealing with these females, man. They're unpredictable, bro. Unpredictable.
That's another thing I gotta work on. Not talking to too many females. Like, I don't wanna like, I don't play with nobody's heart. I do, but I don't want to.
It's
I don't want
okay
to hurt
if you,
nobody.
it's okay if you're a heartbreaker, but just don't try to intentionally be a heartbreaker. You know what I mean? Just be like Drake and just do it on purpose, like do it on accident type shit. But like, the best advice I can give you about that shit, bro, and this is some shit that I wish somebody had told me, that I wish I could have gone back and changed. Just don't focus on that shit. You're like, it ain't worth it. You know what I mean? It's just not worth it, bro. It ain't worth it. It is never gonna be worth it until the point to where you are worth it. If that makes sense. Make sure that you're 100% comfortable with yourself, 100%, I guess in love with yourself in a sense. Make sure you love yourself enough and make sure you love the person who you are before you can ever expect anybody to have any sort of impact like that on your life. Because if not, one, your judgment's going to be cloudy, and two, people are going to have negative impacts in your life. Females, for example. And that's going to affect you negatively and put you in a ultimately worse position the older you get. You know what I mean? And so you don't want to be the person kind of on the outside of the spectrum. You know, like you don't want to be like a 40-year-old virgin type nigga. You know, but at the same time, you also don't want to be that guy that's been with every single girl in the school. And then also at the same time with that, you know, you got to be careful, you know, with what you're doing, how you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? I would always advise protection, but you know, definitely better without protection. But all I can say about that is I'm too young to have a kid. I would be lost if I had a kid right now. And so don't think about kids until you are able to think about a kid. You know what I mean? And then past that, don't think about girls, bro. Fuck girls. They're fake anyway. They're fake. They talk shit. They talk shit about you even though they're with you. They talk shit to your face. You're never good enough for them. You're just some other nigga. There's always a better nigga. All I gotta say is there's that nigga Jamal with a bigger dick. You know what I mean? So take with that information what you want, but just be yourself, bro. Like I was saying earlier, be yourself. You know, do your own thing, and the right girl will be attracted to you when the time is right. Don't go searching for the right girl. The right girl will come to you. So that's all I can say about that. And I totally, the whole time while I was explaining that too, I was thinking about what my biggest accomplishment was in my life, and I still haven't figured that out.
Got like 50 years each more to live, so stuff gonna happen.
That's yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think my biggest accomplishment in life, I think, is just turning into the person that I am. You know, I think that through all the shit that I went through, as a child, as a young adolescent, as a teenager, through all my deepest, darkest, freaking depression years bullshit, is being confident in the person I am today. Not only confident in myself, but also being happy with who I am. I think huge for me. So, and also kind of like you said, you know, being able to talk to people and being able to not only share my experiences but share my insight about certain things, certain situations, you know, of course when people ask, but hopefully to, you know, help them gain a better outcome, whatever they're going through. You know, because life is difficult, and it's especially difficult navigating through it alone. For somebody who has navigated most of their life alone, I definitely know how hard it is to do that. You know what I mean? So it's just giving back to the community. No matter how big the community is, it's just sooner or later it's gonna spread to the right people. That's all I can say. Is I accomplished that, and I'm continuing to accomplish it. Continuing to accomplish. Life's going good. Cannot complain. I know you got one more though. We got time for one more each.
I wish more people could like take truths like this and actually like try living by it instead of like giving into emotions and pressure, or like emotions that you're told you're supposed to feel.
Right.
Because I feel like most definitely whatever generation we're living with or was taken over, like the class of, I guess, 2020, or yeah, 2 years, 2, 3, and 4 years from now, is way too unprepared and way too soft and way too emotional for every like. Because like, don't get rid of your emotions. Don't become a robot. Don't let people program you. But don't try to. Don't feel everything out as if everything's supposed to be felt out try to just get through it sometimes, because you're letting your by feeling everything out, you're not letting yourself take enough hits
Hmm.
to actually progress as a person.
Right.
Because if you're not progressing, you're regressing, even if you don't think you are, even if it doesn't look like it. Because right, let's say you've been at your job for 10 years, you've been doing the same position, same pay for 10 years. That's insanity. I better have got me a raise 3 years into this job or something. Because there's no way I've been at this desk talking like everybody knows my name. I know everybody's name. I could probably get this done in 3 seconds or like maybe like 5 minutes versus the trainee over here. Not trainee. Let's say this man's been over here working this job for 7 months. It takes him a good half an hour to do this. I could do this 10 minutes flat. If I'm not actually like, if you're not pushing yourself to ask for that raise or to speak up in those meetings, and you're just like, oh, all right, I'll talk about it like afterwards, or whatever happens, and I'll just like feel it out while it's happening, rather than pushing yourself to do more, to get more, then you're not earning anything.
Right.
Because yeah, sure, you can pay for your bills, you can pay for your clothes, but there's more. You can do more. You can find more in life, but you're limiting yourself by creating a comfort bubble. That's another thing. People need to learn to find comfort in discomfort. And as a fire song that we're not gonna get into right now, but comfort in discomfort, people need to figure that out so
Right.
that they can make it through stuff, because you're not always gonna be a kid forever. You're not always gonna be the same age range adult forever. Because young adults, right? It's kind of like you go, some go job to job, or you're getting serious about a job, or you're in college, or kids. It's like, okay, this grade got this friends XYZ, right? You're
Hmm.
not always gonna be in that same school. You're not always gonna be in that same position at your job. You're not always gonna live in the same area. So you have to learn to adapt more.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. I think a lot of people fail to do that nowadays, and especially like you were saying, the younger generation and shit like that. I hear a lot of kids talk at my workplace and whatnot. Teenagers, 17, 18, 19, whatever, blah blah blah, and um, they're just kind of just you know carelessly living through life with their parents' bank account, and I think to myself every single day, one day that account's gonna close for better or for worse, you know what I mean? And a lot of people get stuck in the position of like, what the fuck do I do now, And a lot of people rely on that, I want to say, false support of their parents, I think that there are other ways to support your child. You don't need to, like, I mean, granted, there's not every kid like this, but there's a few kids that I take care of, and they whip out their little Amex fucking silver cards or gold cards, the metal fucking credit cards for the big boys, the big boy bank accounts, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, one day this isn't gonna be your norm, and whenever people are uncomfortable, that's whenever you learn the most, is whenever you're uncomfortable. Is because whenever you are comfortable on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, it's so easy to build a habit, form a habit, and just live that habit. Whether it's work, you do the same thing 9 to 5, you type the same 50 fucking papers every single day. You take your break at fucking 12, you go to Jimmy John's, you get your sandwich, it takes you 30 minutes to get there and back, blah blah blah. So then you have 30 minutes to digress, and then you gotta go back in, you're gonna be 5 minutes late because you smoked you start building those bullshit habits. And you don't learn anything about yourself, you don't learn anything about life until you put yourself in a situation that you're not used to. Because at that point, that's whenever your senses heighten, and you start looking around, you start observing more, you start realizing who's around you and why they're around you. You start understanding life at a different level, at a different frequency, because you're used to living the same life a certain way. You know what I mean? So I think that discomfort is a beautiful thing, and I think that's one of the best things a human can be is uncomfortable, because that helps you grow. The more uncomfortable you are, imagine if tomorrow you were fucking, a girl calls you, she's pregnant, it's your kid, and you get kicked out. You know what I mean? What do you do at that point? What the fuck do you do at that point? You don't know. You don't know until you know. And then once you know, start brainstorming different ideas. You know what I mean? Once you start knowing what path you want to go, that's when you start brainstorming other ideas. Those ideas lead to other opportunities. Those other opportunities open doors you have never thought imaginable in your entire life. So I think that's something that everybody being uncomfortable and learning how to adapt. That's a big thing too. People are scared to adapt to uncomfortable situations. They run away from it. It's not good to run away from your problems. It's not good. Face them head on. Figure it out, whether it takes 10 years or whether it takes 10 seconds. Figure the fuck out. Move on. Accept it. Crush it. Move on. That's life. That's life.
I'm not trying to actually ask you the question.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know you got one more hiding in there.
Would you, from 1 to 2 years ago, ever have thought that you would be here doing what you're doing, or like doing this, or doing what you do generally?
Yes and no. Say a couple years ago, I would see my life going a little bit differently had I done a little bit things differently. But then again, I guess I would be doing more or less the same thing. You know, I'll always work on music. I'll always write music. Whether I record it, whether I release it, that's up for me to decide. But I'm always going to do that regardless. And as far as what I do besides that, it's all both shit. So it's just, that shit's, I would have been doing regardless. I guess the only thing that would be different right now is just my job, my life. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I work in a bad spot. Not saying that I make good money. I make enough money for me to live comfortably and everything like that. But I do want to do something different. You know, I want to explore and expand and start a new chapter in my life. Ultimately, you know, I think I'm at that age to where a new chapter is a little bit overdue, and so I'm just ready to move forward. So, in a couple years from now, I could have seen myself being a little bit, quote unquote, bigger as an artist, but at the same time, I never wanted to go down the path of fame. I rather nobody know who I am. A lot of people know who I am, you know. And it's kind of like a fight with that, fight with my self-conscious. But other than that, it's just sticking to the plan that I've had since I was like 15. Crushing it slowly, surely, day after day. So. Big W's for that, though. I will say that. Staying persistent, staying consistent, grind. So, one day it's gonna pay off. I know that for a fact. One day it's gonna pay off, and just excited to continue to go down that path. I guess. You know what I mean? What about you, man? A couple years from now, or a couple years ago, do you view yourself in a different situation?
I feel like younger me would be confused as to why, like, because I used to stream, like, I used to religiously stream on a PlayStation, Minecraft, or Fortnite, and I was like dedicated to. I was like, yo, better not stop that. We had like a whole little mini clan and stuff that we were gonna do. And it was so weird. So I don't think like younger me would have been confused, but kind of happy, because those games kind of died down. Minecraft is never gonna really die down. It just depends on who sees what you do.
Right.
But like Fortnite, I was an addiction. Was on there streaming like every. It was I had to private those streams because of how embarrassed I was. I was like, gang, no.
Oh no.
So younger me would have been like, hey, what happened? But I feel like we'd be able to look at each other and kind of like not bump heads at all. Be like still going on the right path. And so like happy with where I'm at. I mean, I'd probably tell younger me to, get up and go get some money so I got a PC, but like,
Right.
because I didn't even know you could be like doing some of the stuff that like these little kids be doing for money. Like, I was watching, I think, yeah, we were watching YouTube videos. I was watching YouTube videos with my friends, and then bro's like, how I could afford my XYZ setup from a young age, and bro was talking about refereeing like little kids leagues for money, and like the different rep positions give you more XYZ, like jump on this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. If I would have known that, I would have been on that field blowing that whistle until I couldn't blow that whistle no more.
Nah, man, there's always ways to make money, bro. Even as a kid, I mean, shit, you gotta just think outside the box, and I think that goes along with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? But like, for example, there was this little girl, I forget her name, but I think she was like 11 when this company started, maybe 9, maybe 8, but I want to say she was 11, maybe younger. But anyway, she's from Austin, and she started her own lemonade stand, and lemonade was so good that they decided to package it and start selling it, locally. And then it just grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Now it's like one of the like biggest fucking lemonade brands in America, more or less the world. And I think this girl's only like 16 now. She's written, I think, like 1 or 2 books. She's she owns her own business. She was on Shark Tank. She got, I forgot who her investor was, but somebody invested in her with, Shark Tank, stuff like that. Really good things for her, and long story short, she did all of that at a very young age, and that was all on her own. Her parents didn't push her to do that shit. She wanted to start the lemonade stand. She made the lemonade herself. Her parents didn't do shit other than put her in the position to be on Shark Tank. You know what I mean? Other than that, it was all her at such a young age. And even now, I'm inspired by that. But I think that regardless of what anybody's position is in life, no matter what age you are, don't get me wrong, if you're fucking like 5-6 years old, can't even think for your fucking self, more or less use the bathroom for yourself, doesn't apply to you. But if you're old enough to understand the concept of money, what money is, what it does, then you're old enough to start earning money. If you're old enough to start earning money, you're old enough to start saving money. And that's one thing that I could have wished that I could have gone back and done whenever I was younger, is the little, like, bro, I can't tell you how many times in like middle school, I would go to the mall with my little girlfriends or whatever, and I would ask my mom for some money, and she'd pass me a dub, or sometimes she'd pass me a little 40 spot, a little 60 spot, something like that. And I would just be buying the dumbest shit, bro. The dumbest shit. It didn't matter. And I was also one of those people that, like, I was very fond of buying other people gifts. Like, especially, like, I'm the type of person, now it's bad because I make actual money and then it's just terrible. But, like, let's say me and you were to go to the mall together, right? And you were to be like, yo, this shirt looks fucking dope, should I cop? And I'd be like, bro, if you don't cop it, I'm gonna cop it for you. You know, like, that's the shit I'm on. You know, so like, girls, these little ass girls, they'd be like, oh my god, look at this little stuffed animal. And I'd be like, alright, let's cop it, bro. Like, quit playing, let's cop it. And then I would just buy this shit, just like, for no reason. But if I look back, bro, if I could have like saved every little $20, every little $40, even if I just saved half of it, bro, by now, granted it wouldn't be a lot of money per se, but it's a good couple $1,000s that I could have had. You know, I started working, like my actual job, like my actual first job was whenever I was 15 years old. I was working at McDonald's, right? And I couldn't work past 20 hours a week. It was like on some bullshit. But anyway, my checks would be about $180 every 2 weeks, right? And my brother used to tell me all the time. He used to be like, you need to save your money, save your money, save your money. And I'm like, what do I need to save my money for, bro? I'm fucking 15. Like, I don't have any bills to pay for, you know what I mean? Like, I get fed every single fucking day. Like, what do I gotta save my fucking money for? Like, save your money, save your money. And, bro, I would be sitting there the moment I got paid, hop my ass on Counter-Strike Go, buy skin after skin after skin after skin. I didn't give a fuck what it was, bro. I would just buy a bunch of random shit and hop on my ass on League of Legends, skin after skin after skin after skin. I was all about the cosmetics. And then, you know, after 2 days, I ain't got no more money left. You know, I have a little 20 spot that I would spend at the gas station or whatever. But then it got to the point to where, you know, a couple weeks later, you know, my dad wasn't making money like that. And, you know, food wasn't coming in like that. It's like, damn, I ain't got no money. But, like, if I could have gone back and just saved that shit, man, I just wish I could, man. Because that's just crazy to me, man. I look at kids nowadays, too. Just, you know, some kids will tell me their situations with their parents. Parents just hand them money left and right, like, it's crazy to think you accumulate that shit. That shit stacks up fast, bro. Like, people's allowances, kids' allowances be $100 a week, bro. That's $400 a month, bro. That's a damn near welfare check for somebody somewhere across the street, bro. Like, if we're being real, like, you know what I mean? That's going towards some bills, bro. But like, a kid getting that shit, you know, and it's weird, but you don't think about it whenever you're young. You don't think about that shit. That's one thing that I could have differently. Some shit like that, bro. But I got one last question. Close it out with this. So, how do you feel about self-respect? And what does that mean to you? And do you think self-respect is important?
I'm not gonna take it and say that's the most important thing, but it's definitely number two. Have no idea what number one is yet, but we're gonna find out. But right now it's number two, because if you can't respect yourself, how do you expect other people to respect you? Because of course, you know, common sense is respect others and, you know, hope to receive the same respect back, and try not to be petty about it and go tit for tat. But if I don't respect myself, how could I possibly expect you to respect me?
Right.
And that's another thing. A lot of people that be like shy and stuff, it's because they don't take some type of, like, you're not supposed to put yourself on a pedestal, don't become a narcissist, but don't leave yourself like on the street in your mind.
Right.
Like, at least set yourself up where you're like in a house in a decent neighborhood. Don't just throw yourself in the slums in your head. Because if I'm in the slums in my head, the most I'm gonna expect is you're gonna be hostile to me, or I have to watch out for you, or I can't trust nobody. And that's where trust issues start from young ages. Nobody want to talk to nobody because it's like, oh, well, I don't think of myself like this, so how am I supposed to expect you to even like consider treating me like a normal person? And another, like, even if it's just friends or like a significant other, if my significant other can't respect herself, I'm not gonna expect her to be respecting me or my family or my people.
Right.
Because she doesn't respect hers or her.
Right. Amen to that. You right about that. You know, I think self-respect is important. I don't think it's the most important, like you were saying. I think self-love is the most important. But I think that with loving yourself, you earn respect for yourself. You know, obviously that goes hand in hand. But I think that, like you, pretty much like what you were saying, you can't expect anybody in life to respect you if you don't respect what you're going through, and if you don't respect yourself going through it. You know what I mean? I think that a lot of people have the tendency to, you know, I wouldn't say put their problems before everybody else's, but in the sense of like, it just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, they prioritize it differently. You know what I mean? Like, while they'll stack all of everybody else's problems on top of them too, they'll prioritize their problems over their own. And that's whenever you start losing self-respect for yourself. And it's like, because if you have to deal with XYZ for homeboy, then all of a sudden everything that you're going through, everything that you're thinking about, everything that you're feeling is now all out the window. It's now no longer quote unquote your problem because you made.
Somebody told me that when I was younger, bro.
Bro,
Oh
yeah, just because you made somebody else's problem your own problem. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest downfall, especially whenever you are younger and you're still growing up and you're figuring things out. Because at a very young age, everybody is taught this. In elementary school, the golden rule: treat others the way you want to be treated. Whenever you put kids in high school, you have a mixture of personalities, the biggest mixture of personalities ever. You compare the personalities in a whole high school comparatively to a whole college, you're gonna get a lot more like-minded people in college, because the majority of people in college have their brain set on what they want to do. That's their major. They pursue that. In high school, you're mixing kids who have no idea what the fuck they want to do, going through all these different emotions, XYZ, and then you're also mixing them with fucking kids who are prepubescent as fuck, never touched a fucking girl's fucking arm in his life, and all of a sudden gets a chub every time he sees a fucking shoulder. Like, what do you expect is gonna happen? You know what I mean? That is why you can't confuse people by letting other people's problems control you. You know what I mean? But oftentimes, whenever you're put in a position to help somebody based off of their problem, you accept it because you would want that person to do the same thing for you. You know what I mean? But people don't understand. You have to respect yourself enough to learn how to say no to people. Like, no, I can't do that right now. I'm not in a position. But people are blinded. People are blinded by the simplicity that hoping that maybe this person would do the same thing. And then what's even more fucked up about that, whenever the situation transpires to where they need that other person to do the same thing, the other person doesn't want to do that. The other person doesn't want shit to do with what you're going through. But you wasted all your time, all your effort, all your emotion, all your heart to help that person go through something. What does that make you? You know what I mean? Then, not saying that makes the other person a better person, it actually makes him or her a little bit worse of a person. But you could already tell right off the bat they don't respect themselves. You know what I mean? So that's why it's always good to establish that self-respect early. So that way you can recognize those situations in life. You know, you don't have to help it. For a long time, I thought that I had to help everybody. Everybody that came in contact with me, whether it's through streaming, whether it's through social media, whether it's in person. Didn't even fucking matter. I just thought I had to save them. You ain't gotta save nobody. The people who you save are gonna be the ones that, one, you least expected, and then two, the ones that are gonna stick around for the majority of your life, better or for worse. You know what I mean? So that goes with everybody. Respect yourself, bro. Just respect your fucking. You will gain so much more. Like you said, once you neglect your personality, once you neglect your mind, that's when you start getting the wrong people in your life. Nobody wants that. Shit. I think that was your last question, yeah? Your last one.
I do want to like add before we end, because you just said we were ending on that. I feel like what that makes you, playing, like, to be frank, it makes you a tool, and then you can't really complain when somebody uses you. Like, obviously you're going to, but you kind of set yourself up for that.
Right, exactly. And I think that, see, if you respect yourself enough, you won't be used as a tool. You'll be more like a med kit, first aid kit type shit. People will come to you in their time of need, not whenever they feel like it. If that makes sense. And that's one thing that you need to establish and figure out early, is hit that nail on the hammer, or with the hammer on the head. Just say fuck it. I think a lot of people would benefit from saying fuck. And also saying fuck that shit. Whatever the case. But just say fuck it, bro. We'll end. That's for. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
It has.
And
I'm very glad we could finally do this.
yeah, I know this has been a long time. This has been a couple weeks in the making, like a couple months, but like holy shit, it's been so long that we've talked about it. Now we're finally here, got to do it. So it was incredible. You know, I appreciate you a ton. I know that you're gonna help both and turn into something crazy. You know what I mean? And also at the same time, you know, we need more people like you inside. You know what I mean? Inside, not necessarily just wit wise, but you know, personality wise. And you're very intelligent for how young you are. So let's get a W for that. And you know, much love to you as always. We gonna get out of this, fuckers. Peace out, stream. Peace out, YouTube. Much love to y'all. It's been your boy Jace3420 and or Young Sweye and or fucking Jordan. And yes, both Das or fucking Dwight, whatever you want to call him. Beautiful, beautiful human being he is. So much love. Thank you guys.